Ramon Osu with you here. Now, do you want better rhythm on your ground strokes? It's easy to see why. You watch the pros and everyone's always saying, boy, he's in such great rhythm. You know, how does he do that? Well, rhythm is directly related to consistency, and we know that tennis is a game of errors. And if you make fewer errors, you're gonna win more points. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how to develop better rhythm and a couple of my favorite ways to do that. And if you stay tuned to the end, you'll get to see if you won last week's little contest. So let's get started. So if we're gonna talk about rhythm, we gotta talk about footwork because that's the first step. Pun intended, okay? Now, tennis players are a lot like fish. As soon as they stop moving, they die. Movement dictates everything. And if you watch the pros, you'll notice their feet are always in motion. They're always moving during a point. And that's in direct contrast to what I see most club players and rec players do, which is kind of hit the ball and then plant, okay? And it's a heck of a lot easier to keep something in motion than it is to get something moving in motion. I think that was a physics lesson once by that Newton guy. Anyway, so you want to keep your feet in motion, okay? Don't worry a whole lot about are you using a crossover step or using a shuffle step. All that fancy stuff is great and it'll come later. For now, just make sure that you're keeping your feet moving while you're in a point, while you're rallying, while you're practicing, because you practice the way you play, and then maybe add that split step in, because that's gonna help you collect yourself and then react. And again, the timing of the split step comes right as your opponent is making contact with the ball. That'll go a long way in keeping your feet moving and getting your body into motion and in rhythm. All right, so we got your feet moving now. Let's talk about kind of the next level up from that, and that's getting the speed of your feet to mirror the speed of the ball. Okay, and the analogy I like to use for this is like Dudley Do-Right rescuing his girlfriend Belle from Snively Whiplash on the train. So you remember the train's pulling away and Dudley had to be on his horse and hop onto the train. And how did he do that? He made sure the horse was traveling the same speed as the train before he leapt on. It's a lot like that in a rally in tennis. We want to make sure that the speed of our feet and the speed of our body is mirroring the speed of the ball so that we can develop that rhythm and develop that connectedness. Okay, not to say you can't be early and be in position early, but we want to be moving in general with the speed of the ball. So if you got a slower ball, we can be a little bit more deliberate, still in motion with our feet, but a little bit more deliberate. And if you get a little faster ball or you're in a faster paced rally, then we need to be a little bit quicker with our feet. So once you get the feet down, now the fun stuff happens, all right? Let's talk about the stroke and how to actually get your strokes in rhythm. All right, so first of all, what does it even mean to get your stroke in rhythm? Well, to me, and for the purposes of this video, we're gonna talk about being able to consistently and smoothly getting your racket head out to the ideal contact point consistently, okay? And to me, again, you know it's the 45-degree angle to the court if you're subscribed to this channel. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, first thing we got to do, we got our feet moving. We're in the right place with our feet. That's kind of like a prerequisite. Okay, now we need to talk about the timing of the stroke itself. Now, I don't know if you have a modern forehand with kind of a loop, like the way the pros are hitting it now, or if you kind of have a straight back forehand and straight through. But one thing I want you to think about in terms of rhythm is that the stroke, any stroke that you're hitting is a two-part process that's kind of blended into one. We're receiving the ball and then we're sending the ball, okay? And it's very important to realize at what point you are during the stroke and what point you need to be at what point in time. The way I like to imagine this is imagine for a second that you're reeling in a giant fish. Okay, so the ball is going to be the fish here. As your opponent hits the ball, you're going to start to reel that ball in. You're going to start to time the center of your body, your hips, with the receiving of that ball, your hips and shoulders, okay? This is a very important key, okay? Because what most players do when they hear get ready for the stroke is they turn really fast and get ready. And that's a step up from not moving at all and being late. And that's a very good intermediate step to this more advanced concept of receiving and sending. But as soon as you can consistently get to the point of contact, I want you to transition to the next level, okay? Which is thinking about the stroke as a continuous process of receiving and sending, okay? And right as the ball gets into your wheelhouse, or as the fish gets in, we're gonna spit it back out, okay? We're gonna send it out to the ocean. So it's the timing of your hips receiving the ball and then sending the ball. Now, if you're using a loop, if you're into the modern forehand thing, you're gonna imagine that your hands are always catching up to your hips. Another way to say it is your hands are always trailing behind your hips a little bit. So as you begin your initial turn, your hips start and your hands kind of lag behind, okay? You've probably heard that in a couple other videos of mine before, okay? So they're gonna lag behind, and as your hips get ready to pull forward, your hands are gonna lag behind again, and you're gonna send the ball, okay? So the process is receiving and sending. Now the timing of this is gonna require some experimentation, and it's very situational. Unfortunately, there's not like a magic pill that I can give you that'll just automatically make your stroke in time. But one way to think about it, at least initially, is that your hands are always gonna mirror the flight of the ball. Okay, what does that mean? It means as the ball's coming off your opponent's racket, it's gonna rise, and that's when your hands start to rise, okay? And as the ball is dropping, that's when your hands are gonna start to drop, and they're gonna come up together, and you're gonna meet the ball. Now, obviously, if you're dealing with a lob, it's not gonna work quite that way, right? Because the ball's gonna go way up in the air, it's gonna fall, and you wouldn't wanna just take your hand really high up like this. You would kind of wanna wait for it, and then once it's getting ready to come into your wheelhouse, you're gonna take your loop and hit it, or you're gonna take the racket back and hit it. Same thing if you're playing deep from the baseline and you're actually catching the ball on the way down, then your timing's gonna change a little bit. But as a general rule, think about mirroring the flight of the ball and then correct off of that. And there you have it. If you want better rhythm on your ground strokes, keep your feet moving, keep your feet in rhythm, and then get your timing on the way in and sending the ball on the way out, and you'll be a star by Tuesday. Thanks for watching this video. The winner of last week's competition, a little contest, is Alex Collier. Alex, congratulations. Drop me a line over on Ramon@RamonOsaTennis.com, and I'll set you up with your free instructional course. In the meantime, if you're looking for a way to take your forehand to the next level, I've made a free video that you can have called Federer's 5 Forehand Secrets that reveals some of the components that allow him to hit probably the greatest forehand of all time. You can have that for free by heading over to osatennis360.com and grabbing it. Thanks again for watching. If this is your first time on this channel, welcome. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let me know in the comments what other videos I can make for you to help you out in your tennis game. All right, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.